What's up, guys? Abstract Tiger Productions here. I'm Chris.
I'm Drew.
And we are doing a brand new reaction to He-Man Masters of the Universe Revelation. This is a Netflix show. Show run by Kevin James.
No,
not Kevin James.
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Silent Bob himself.
Yes. Okay. Kevin James. Not Kevin James. Who's Kevin James?
The dude from Paw Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he does have a TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, okay.
He's a race car crew chief.
Okay. All right.
It's called The Crew. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Kevin Smith. All right, we're cutting that back in. Kevin Smith. And you have stated that you have watched some of the old classic He-Man. I have missed most everything He-Man. Although if you have watched our Saturday morning lineup video, which you should, is on Patreon now. So go and check that out. That's down in the description below. Mm-hmm. The link to the Patreon, not the specific video, but you can find it there. That was one of the ones I missed. Mm-hmm. One of the big ones from the 80s that I missed. Yep. Apparently they had done a couple of attempted remakes. None of them really fell through too well until this showed up. Mm-hmm. And I know, just let me put this little caveat out here, we're going to be doing one a week. And yes, we know that's not how Netflix does things. I'm breaking the Netflix norm, okay? I'm going to be doing one a week, except for whenever we're on vacation. So don't expect me on anything on that. But not going to binge watch it like they want you to. I like the week to week where you can process what's happened and kind of chitty chat and get really chew on the meat as opposed to just swallowing the bite whole, as it were.
Right.
Which
For
is
that, see our barbecue reference.
Yes, see the barbecue video in Patreon. So,
oh man.
Yes.
Okay.
We have reacted to the trailer of this.
Yes.
So you can also check that out on the channel before you watch this. But if you don't want to, so sad.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. But at any rate, I'm kind of excited. The trailer really got me excited. Like I said, this is something I missed because it didn't come on a channel I could get
right
as a kid. So this is going to be like my first real depth into the He-Man, no pun intended, universe.
Welcome to Eternia.
Yes. So
that's all I can say. So this is kind of like a reverse because I actually understand the backstory, whereas our other reactions that we do, you're the one that understands the backstory, and you have to fill in the blanks for me.
Yes.
So, this will be fun. I didn't click till you just said that.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I know what's going on, sort of, except it's a new show.
Yeah. It's not like I was completely under a rock and didn't know what it was. I had a best friend whenever I was in elementary who he got all the a lot of the toys and stuff like that. So I knew who, obviously, He-Man was. You can't not know who that was by just looking at. Oh yeah, that's him. All right. I knew who Man of Arms was. I knew who Cringer was. Obviously, Skeletor really lives up to his name because he has a skull head, skull face,
skull body.
He's kind of like Mum Ross, sort of.
Actually, you're not wrong. Now that you say that, you're not wrong.
So, and then of course they had Triclops and a bunch of others. And the toys obviously were abundant.
Yep.
I think I made mention in the episode, maybe it wasn't the episode of, but I saw at Walmart gigantic pop figures of He-Man himself in like a hero landing pose.
Yep.
Like this big, literally. And it's just like, okay. So,
there's going to be a lot of Lego sets, I have a feeling, of Castle Grayskull. I will not be surprised if that, because of this show, they have a deal with Lego, and there's a bunch of Grayskulls.
I wouldn't also be surprised that, like Hasbro themselves or something like that wouldn't start trying to put up.
Oh, absolutely.
Again. I mean,
absolutely. That's the whole reason why they agreed to this. They were like, Kevin Smith, you got a show?
Here's all the money you want.
Yeah, exactly.
And the big name voice actors coming behind this. We got Mark Hamill. We have Chris. What's his name? Oh goodness. He played Mon-El in Supergirl. Chris Wood. Yes. He's
Mr. Melissa Benoist.
Yeah. Off topic again.
They're married in real life.
I know they are. And it happened cute. After he had to leave the show.
Yeah.
And whatnot. Because of other commitments and whatnot. But I just... You're saying that it's just like that episode. And the reason why it's in my forefront is because I rewatched the episode, the musical episode of The Flash.
Yep.
On Hannah Bayles' channel, which I think I may just link her down there. She's a vocal coach for singers and stuff like that. She did a reaction to that particular episode. And there's a line that, Kara Zor-El says to Mon-El that, if you do this again, I'll drop a mountain on you. And he's like, oh, that's figuratively. And she's like, no, that's geologically.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, geologically.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Or no, geographically. Yes. Geographically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's the line. It's just, that was just funny running through my head because, in the 80s cartoon, I know that death battle they have done in years past, He-Man in one of their death battles, and some of the ridiculous 80s nonsense cartoon stuff that happens is, it's like, yeah, okay. And he has, I remember one scene that they showed that he had to put out a forest fire. And instead of getting like a bucket, a giant tub, or some giant thing, he just like picks the entire lake up and just drops it on it. It's like, okay.
Well, it's even a Superman thing.
Yeah, I know. It's a Superman thing, but... all right, I think I've rambled enough. Unless there's something that you want to ramble about.
No, I was going to say one of the... so she used to be a part of a YouTube channel that I was very much in tune with. You guys have heard me talk about John Campea. And he's a really big YouTuber that I follow, big inspiration. And he used to host a television show online for AMC. And one of the people that he would have as a recurring character was, her name is Tiffany Smith. And she's been seen recently on Netflix. She portrayed Meghan Markle in the Netflix movie about Prince Harry and Meghan getting married and all this kind of stuff. And she voices one of the characters in this.
Oh, okay.
And so that was how I found out about it. It wasn't through Mark Hamill or anything like that. It was, she posted on her Instagram saying that she's going to Eternia. And then I read about Kevin Smith and Mark Hamill and all that when they did the voice announcing. So that's when I got excited.
Mine's not nearly that good of a story. I actually, the reason why, I had heard through rumor mills that they were trying to get it remade. I didn't know it was actually came into full fruition until I saw Blind Wave had a video up reacting to the trailer. I'm like, oh, okay.
So it's a thing. It's a real thing.
Yay, it's a thing.
And then we reacted to it.
Yes, and then we reacted to it. All right, let's, I guess, get into this real quick, because I think we've blah, blah, blah enough.
Indeed.
Mattel. That's right. Mattel was the one who created the toys.
Center of the universe, on the planet Eternia, rules Castle Grayskull, ancient fortress of mystery. Its power sought by the dark forces of Snake Mountain, sanctuary of sin and
so that's
sorrow, ruled by the demon Skeletor and his evil acolytes. And the only thing that stands in their way
that's
is Prince
an
Adam,
interesting pose there, lady.
the secrets of Castle Grayskull as He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 4 others share this secret, guardians of Grayskull all, amidst an army of the honorable, committed to guarding Castle Grayskull from the havoc of destruction. For those who control Grayskull control the power to be masters of the universe.
An interesting voiceover.
And you're eating.
Oh, Kevin Smith. Oh, hello. A mechanic horse.
Mm-hmm.
Fireworks! Yay!
Marlena, show me a single Eternian who doesn't love fireworks.
Him. Cringer.
Cringer!
The palace is under attack. It's just fireworks. Taken from someone who's seen battle, Cat.
Well, someone might have wanted to alert
geez.
the captain of the guard. I was called for an airstrike.
And a master strategist. But you being knighted man-at-arms? This is the proudest moment of my life, Tita.
Okay, so Man-at-Arms is
I
not
know
just a
our rank
name, it's a
position don't
title.
allow this
Okay.
kind of thing, but thank you, Dad.
Oh, okay.
Man-at-Arms is feeling manny emotions.
Oh, no. Please, no puns.
You wouldn't.
Even on Tila's big day, Snake Mountain takes no rest, I see.
I see as well, Witch. I see the Guardian of Grayskull has been so easily fooled by my shaping staff.
Okay.
Behold, the Lord of Destruction, Skeletor.
This cat is scared and thinks there's trouble, so keep him safe inside a bubble.
Really? Okay.
Protecting Cringer's hearing in a soundproof bubble. He's not scared anymore because he can't hear. He also can't breathe.
There is no air. It's made things worse. Come on, Bubble. It's time to burst.
That's the wrong way.
I have the power to help me save Cringer.
A pin. Okay. Oh.
I have the power.
Jeez. Really? Wait. Oh. Hello. Okay.
You're not Adam.
I am Adam, Prince of Eternia, and okay. Ow.
Even the great sorceress of Grayskull was so easily manipulated by my latest deception. Because this isn't the real He-Man.
Oh.
He's more of a faker.
It's a Terminator.
Yeah. I was thinking he looked more like Destro.
Oh. Of course.
Or a Mesa.
Yeah, okay.
After all these years, I finally understand that Grayskull is not the prize I'm after.
Oh, really?
This castle is merely a shell. The pearl I seek is trapped inside. So I'm not here to take the castle. I've come to tear Grayskull down, stone by stone. Call your champion.
He-Man,
Oh.
hear me wherever you are. Grayskull is under attack.
I hereby dub you Man-at-Arms.
Yep, I figured.
The sorceress is in danger.
For Eternia!
You got promoted and now here's your first job. Congratulations.
People of Eternos, follow your king and queen to safety.
It said that only 4 people knew the secret. I wonder if Mama knows the secret and she's just not telling anybody.
And use
Right.
your magic to help strengthen the sorceries.
Don't ruin my transformation.
Alright. Now you gotta point it at the,
Yep.
yeah, the cat.
Battle cat.
Battle cat. The music is pretty banging.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. For a guy who's about to retire, it's
Yeah.
still good.
Good animation.
Yeah. Is it monkeying from Thundercats? No. Well. Oh! Okay.
Can he rearrange himself like that?
He's being useful.
Yeah.
Well,
Ish.
kinda.
I'll handle this
Horse
nightmare.
puncher.
You find Skeletor.
Well, Robo Horse Puncher.
Mm.
Very Idrisil-like.
Just his cheerleader.
Cheerleader. Oh.
Why did you look surprised? You literally said call
Yeah.
him.
Oh, okay. I saw that from the trailer. It's like, what is that? Who's that?
Yeah.
But it's Skeletor. Ah. Oh.
Oh. Hit with the ricochet.
Yep. Oh, you don't look away from your opponent. Oh.
You defile the heart of Grayskull with your very presence. Leave this place and never return.
You first, Mossman.
Boss man. What? Okay, that was a little dark. Definitely didn't want to say that in the 80s.
Smells like pine. You can't tend the garden without pulling a few weeds.
I agree with you. The puns are getting old already.
Though,
Mark Hamill delivers them well.
yeah.
Use that sword the way it was meant to be used, boy. As the key to the Hall of Wisdom.
Oh, he baited him into stabbing him.
And to greedily protect their prize, the elders created the illusion of Castle Grayskull to conceal the majestic Hall of Wisdom. And now, finally, after all these years, the secrets of Grayskull will be mine!
Oh, jeez.
What if I called on the power of Grayskull while I'm already in this form, and used the sword like a conduit to contain the blast?
What do you mean in this form?
The Sword of Power could absorb the blast and save the universe, yes. But He-Man, you would have to be wielding it.
The power of that much magical energy will kill anybody, even you. You'll die if you do this, He-Man.
If I don't do this, everybody dies.
I can't hold it. We are out of time.
By the power of Grayskull!
Oh, it's breaking. Yep. Oh, in half. Okay. Oh, she found me.
He's just a boy. And that boy is holding all the power of the universe in his bare hands.
Now there's two swords.
Yeah.
No! That power is mine!
They're gone.
Yup.
He-Man succumbed.
May he forever bask in the glow of his great reward in Britannia. Grayskull has lost her champion.
Randor, we've lost our son.
What? No,
He did. Oh,
Adam is fine. Isn't he, Duncan?
My lord,
Duncan is his real name.
Prince
Okay.
Adam
Okay.
and He-Man.
No. It can't be.
My lord, I am so sorry you had to find out like this.
But the prince ordered us to keep his secret.
Get out.
My liege,
Get out! I strip you of your title and banish you from the palace forever! And if I ever see you again, I will have you executed!
as you wish, my liege.
Tila, get this disgraced man-at-arms out of my sight!
No. I am done with every one of you.
Tila!
You knew, didn't you? And you never said anything, not even to him. Everybody I ever trusted since I was a child knew Adam was He-Man. I have laid my life on the line for every one of you, but you're all a pack of liars.
Ooh.
Adam was no different. Yes, it is, because I've had enough. Enough of your secrets and lies. Enough of magic and the monsters it makes. Enough of the royal palace, and enough of Castle Grayskull to last me a lifetime. I'm done looking out for the people who never told me the truth.
Ah. Well, okay. That took a turn. Oh, here we go. Okay. Diedrich Bader, King Randor.
Yep. Liam Cunningham is Man at Arms. I knew that.
Susan Eisenberg is Sorceress. I guess that's Sarah Michelle Gellar is Tila. Okay.
I think I knew that and forgot.
Lena Headley as Evelyn. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Okay. Griffin. I don't know who it is.
Alicia Silverstone is the mom.
Chris Wood is Adam He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else. That's it. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Obviously, it's a much better. I said this in our trailer review. A much better animation than it
Yes,
is.
absolutely.
Fantastic quality. Music was on point. I loved it.
Yes.
Let me just talk about the show as a generality.
Yeah.
Then we get into the proper As my first introduction, that was a shock. Okay.
Because this is your first introduction to He-Man in general.
In general, yes.
Yeah.
I did have to say that, the little trick that Skeletor pulled did catch me off guard a little bit.
Oh, with the fake He-Man?
Yeah, the fake man.
Fake man. This is fake man.
Or Amazo, the android,
yeah,
as it
were.
Though it did not hold up to basically Duncan, Tony Stark, Iron Man 2'd laser.
Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, there was some puns, but only the ones that I were horrible with was the ones from Orko.
Yeah.
The ones done by...
Who was the voice of Orko again? Did you see it? Sorry.
I saw it, but I didn't recognize the guy. Griffin Newman.
Okay.
I
don't recognize that name, but I recognize the voice.
Okay.
So it might be just a generic voice actor that I've heard a bunch.
Yeah, like the guy who did the dad, King Randor. I recognize the voice, but I don't recognize him. I've heard his voice in other things, but I just don't recognize.
Yeah.
I just don't recognize the name. I don't have a face to put with it. But as you said, getting back on what I was saying, the little snide remarks that Skeletor was making was fine. I was fine with that.
Yeah, I mean that's Skeletor. He got the comments.
That, yes. And Mark Hamill definitely, he pulled a lot of his Joker experience into this, but this obviously was a lot more of a darker thing, so he could go a little bit harder, I guess you could say, to a certain extent.
Right.
But I liked the intro, the way they kind of explained the universe as in a brief little. I guess if you're not familiar with the universe,
the recap at the beginning was legit.
Yeah. But okay. Overall, I liked it. I am hooked. Not just because of what happened. Yes, that was a big part of it. But yes, the quality of the animation, the quality of the voice actors and stuff like that. And now we have really, I guess, gone into uncharted territory as far as I'm aware of, because I do not remember anything granted, or hearing anything about something like this happening in the original show from the 80s, where He-Man is just gone and who knows what happens.
No, there's been a couple times where Skeletor has banished him to another...
And he has to
alternate plane of reality or whatever.
And he has to probably fight his way back. And,
that
happens in Thundercats a lot. To a certain degree sometimes. But
no. Something like this has never happened.
Okay.
This reminds me more like the and I know this is sacrilegious to say this. The Dolph Lundgren movie where He-Man gets banished to another Earth. To Earth from Eternia, and he has to find his way back. But this one, Skeletor went with him. I don't think they're gone. There's no way that they killed off He-Man in the first episode of a He-Man show.
Well, I don't know. Technically, the word He-Man is not in the title.
But if you think Masters of the Universe, it's He-Man.
He-Man, yes,
because it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
But this is just Masters of the Universe Revelation.
I think that's because now everyone knows who he is.
Yeah. And okay, let's just start at the beginning. Teela apparently is Man-at-Arms with Duncan / Man-at-Arms, the previous one. is like an adopted daughter.
Yeah, adopted daughter. She's an orphan.
Right. I know she was like she made mention that this orphan, at her promotion ceremony, I guess you could call it. But I don't know if it's explained in the old show, but I would kind of wonder how long Duncan has been, or Man-at-Arms. I kind of, because Man-at-Arms is apparently, I thought it was the name of the character, not the rank that he held.
I get the feeling that that was the reason why they did that as a revelation.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Well, like I said, I don't know if it was something that was like he had a name from the original show or not. People in the comments will definitely let me know.
Not that I personally recall.
Okay.
That's why when they said Duncan, I was like, really? That's it?
Hey,
they've always just called him Man-at-Arms.
Yeah, which I can see that if it's like a title that you're have earned. You can a lot of people are referred to as like general or lieutenant as opposed to what their proper name is.
Right, but even the people that know them closest, like the King, as far as I recall, and I watched most of He-Man, if not all of it. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. As far as I recall, that was the first time the King ever said his name. Comments correct me if I'm wrong, but that's personally my recollection. It reminds me of in Spartacus, the person who trains the gladiators is called Doctore, and you don't find out his name until he either gives up that role or when they do the prequel series when he gets that role.
Okay, or it's like the Dread Pirate Roberts thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's another. Yes. That's a more PG way of saying it than saying talking about Spartacus.
Yeah,
but
this it seems to be more of like a military rank, I guess.
Yes.
More along the line of like the Hand of the King, I guess you could say, from Game of Thrones.
Yep. Going back to Lena Headey.
Yeah. But apparently the Tila was being promoted to the new Man-at-Arms or Woman at Arms, Woman at Arms, at this point, and I guess her adopted, or I guess dad, we can call her dad.
Yeah.
Call him dad.
Because she says thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Is retiring. We're retiring. And
that was also the first time I ever remember him taking off his helmet. I've never seen the top of that man's head.
Now we have.
Thank you, Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to actually also the goofiness of Orko not really doing his magic properly.
Yeah.
But when it counts, it obviously he does something.
Yeah, the only time he ever really is able to channel his magic is in emergency situations. Yes. Other than that, he's like
he seems to be like someone who is not quite finished training with magic, or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like he had started out as somebody's apprentice, and then they died or left or something, and then he was just kind of left to his own devices after that, and read books, and then kind of like tried to apply what he read, but didn't really know how.
Right.
Just that certain, something.
Yeah.
If I'm making sense.
You're making perfect sense.
Okay. Because, I can read how to, repair a vehicle, but, I've never been properly, that's not my field of study that I
went exactly
into for college or whatever. And I mean that very literally. I can identify engine and radiator and some other stuff, but that's about it.
Got me beat.
What?
Said you got me beat.
Yeah. We had also an attack on Castle Grayskull, which apparently the Castle Grayskull, the way you see it, is nothing but an illusion.
Yep.
to something for something called the Hall of Wisdom.
Yep.
Where the Eternal or Ancient Ones or whatever he called them.
Council of Elders.
Council of Elders. Okay.
This is all new, by the way. That illusion and Castle Grayskull not really being real, that's all new. That's probably the revelation that they're talking about.
Okay.
Right. It's always just been Castle Grayskull, and she was the sorceress that was the protector of it.
Okay. Yeah. And apparently she was like maybe tied to the source to a certain degree. Maybe not. I don't know.
I get to use it. I get to use a word that
spoiler.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if they're going to explain it, but her power is tied to the spirit of Eternia.
Okay.
Not necessarily the castle itself.
Okay. And basically, Skeletor did like a some shape-shifting shenanigans, and basically tricked her and whatnot. I should have realized something was off, because whenever you see the very first shot when we see He-Man, once he has that horse and the two people following him, it wasn't Battle Cat. A flag should have went off, but I didn't realize it. But then again, it didn't click until you see Prince Adam at the promotion ceremony. I'm like, how is he in two places at once? And then it hits me, and it's like, oh, then after Skeletor revealed that that's a fake He-Man.
Yeah. You're not wrong about the Battle Cat thing, but the big thing that didn't give it away is when he didn't talk to the sorceress. He didn't talk back. Like when she was like, I figured you'd be at Tila's ceremony. There was no answer.
No answer. Okay.
That's when I caught that something was something was off. Because Adam, even as He-Man, has a big mouth. He likes to talk. That's one of his downfalls is, the classic supervillain shtick when they talk and reveal their plan.
Yeah.
He-Man talks a lot.
He didn't get much of a chance this time.
You're not wrong.
No, I mean,
Too soon.
Pretty much. I mean, well, I'm in the fact that pretty much as soon as he was called there, and it was alerted to what was going on at the castle, he pretty much was in action mode the entire time.
Yeah.
They didn't really do the whole. Normally, you can have sometimes the overly done banter between the two combatants. They're talking to each other while they're fighting, and they didn't really have too much of that per se. Though it definitely sidesteps a lot of what the 80s cartoon had to do because of censorship and whatnot at the time. He finally used, and Skeletor had been mentioned of it, he finally used the sword for what it was meant to.
Yeah.
As a sword, but not only that, using it as a key.
Yep.
To unlock the that orb thing. The heart of
Eternia.
Heart of Eternia, yeah. Like I said, I didn't have time to really wow. Heart of Eternia.
Yeah, and another thing, you could tell that this is different. It's Netflix. They're a little more gritty.
Yeah.
It showed blood. You got to see Skeletor's blood on the blade. And like in movie context, if you see a blade go through someone and come out the other side with blood, it's automatically an R rating in the MPAA.
Yeah.
And so I didn't see at the beginning if this is rated TV mature or not.
I don't know.
But that right there, according to the way the standards were,
I'm thinking
before
it's
streaming,
definitely TVMA at least.
Well, before streaming, like regular television, this would be considered mature. I don't know what the streaming rules are, since it's Netflix. It could be TV 14 at this point. I don't know.
Well, I would not even. I would go that low with it.
Oh, okay.
MA, I would think mature adult. That would be I would say 18 or over, easily.
Yeah. There's no language.
Yeah, no, there's not. But
Thank goodness.
even still, I mean, it is the violence, aspect of it. And they did not shy away from people being shown being blasted away by the defense system of the castle, of Castle Grayskull, the Hall of Wisdom, or whatever it was. It actually is. During that little rundown at the beginning, they said that there was 4 people who knew that He-Man and Prince Adam were one and the same. Or that, essentially, Prince Adam was He-Man. And vice versa. Kind of a la Clark Kent, Superman.
Okay.
But, with that one scene that they had whenever they were evacuating the palace there, and the mom turns around and looks, and it's just like, oh, she knows, but she's not saying anything. Or she just kind of, suspecting or whatever, or at least, she knew.
Yep.
And apparently Tila did not take the news very well at all.
No.
I can understand her being upset because a friend of her just, it's interesting, in her mind, died.
Yeah.
Trying, saving the,
universe.
The universe. And man, that just got that flipped a switch. I was not expecting it to be going in the first episode. I figured the He-Man and Skeletor fight would be going on for a while, maybe at least maybe another episode or two, but now that her father got banished, because the king was just, angry because he was kept in the dark as well.
Yep.
And now his only son, his only son is dead.
Yep.
We don't know if, and based on what I've heard speculation, She-Ra, his Prince Adam's twin sister, is not going to make an appearance. At least in this season. I don't know, because they've had crossovers between them, and I think in the real, from what I've, Wikipedia is a thing, okay? Even though I haven't watched the show proper, there's a Wikipedia, and I've skimmed briefly, and from what I've gathered from other people and whatnot, so I am kind of interested. I wrote down Tila leaves, calling everyone a liar.
Yep.
And it was just very intense. Very intense. I can see kind of where she's coming from and whatnot. Maybe it just, I don't know if I could put, haven't been put in a situation like that specifically, watching a friend die or whatever, and you're realizing that they had all this, this big secret, and then just nobody, bothered to tell me, or did they even trust me enough to tell me? All these things going through your mind, and she just like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done with the kingdom. I'm done with my fake dad.
Yeah.
And I'm just going back. It seemed like she's just going back on, being by herself.
Yep.
So, wow. I also wrote down there, the Sword of Power is now split into 2. That's about it. 2 swords now? Question mark?
Yeah. I have 2 swords with an exclamation point that's shaped like a sword.
I wasn't that artistic, but okay.
I was doodling.
Okay, so I've rattled enough. So what are your thoughts? I mean,
okay, so I'm going to say 2 things about your comments, and I wanted to let you get all your thoughts out before I said them.
Okay.
One, I think you need to go back and rewatch that intro again.
Okay.
Because I think you misunderstood the narrator.
I probably
only
did
because they did not say that 4 people know who he is. They said only 4 others have been trusted to protect the secrets of Grayskull as Masters of the Universe. Okay. And it's talking about Battlecat, Man-at-Arms, Tila, and Orko.
Okay.
They're not talking about they know who he is. They're talking about these are the people that the sorceress trusts.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. They weren't saying all the people that know the secret.
Okay, that's the way I took it, because I would figure that it's like kind of one of the same sort of, because to know the champion you have to protect. I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it or something like that. But
part of the reason why He-Man is such a huge threat and the greatest protector and the champion of Grayskull is because of his anonymity. He just showed up one day.
Okay.
And started working to protect Grayskull and Eternia and became a Master of the Universe because Prince Adam stumbled onto Castle Grayskull.
Okay. But now Skeletor knows.
Tila knows.
Skeletor.
Man-at-Arms already knew.
Yes.
Man-at-Arms has actually used
that. I gathered really, because he was shown in that thing there.
Yeah.
I figured he did, obviously, especially when, Prince Adam gets the telepathic message from the sorceress, and he basically immediately goes to Man-at-Arms and is like, hey, this is going down, we got to do something about it. So
in the original, they used him a lot as a buffer to where he would distract people so that Adam can go change.
Yeah.
Or transform, not change.
Back. Well, yes.
Okay, so there's that. And then the second thing was in regards to the 2 swords.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed you were talking about She-Ra.
Yes.
One of the swords was hers. That's why they zoomed in on the hilt.
Okay.
It's the one that's got the curve with the gold inlay and then the red gem in the middle.
Yeah.
That's She-Ra's sword.
Okay. Now, I have seen hers from, like, the original show, and it looks exactly like He-Man's, but maybe, like, a different color. I thought the power sword and her sword was 2 different ones in...
They may be retconning that.
Okay.
They might be retconning that, because in regards to all the animatrix...
That's a whole different show.
Animatics.
Okay.
Animatics I've seen from the Netflix She-Ra show, the one that I said had been on the air for like 6 seasons.
Okay.
The symbol that's behind her name is that ornate handle. And so I may be assuming or jumping the gun here, but it looks like She-Ra's sword to me.
Okay.
And so I didn't know if...
Well, yeah, based on what like I mentioned before at the beginning, before we started watching the episode proper, I had seen, they brought He-Man into Death Battle and then She-Ra into Death Battle, and they do a rundown on each of the characters and whatnot. And one of the things that they did mention is, like, He-Man's sword, the power, the Sword of Power, had a twin sword.
Yep.
Which was the one that She-Ra had, which was called the Sword of something else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I've always just heard it referred to as the Sword of Eternia.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just a nickname I've heard.
But yeah, it had something else, like another. It was like these pair of swords or something like that. Whatnot. But I don't know. This kind of sort of also reminded me of the, with the sword splitting into 2, like it did. Very reminiscent of like some scenes that I've, like cutscenes that I've seen from like the later installments from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, with the keyblades.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So it gave me that kind of vibe.
Yep.
But
so another thing that you said was when Skeletor and He-Man were fighting, and then all of a sudden it was just gone. What I thought was going to happen with this being Revelation and it only being short episodes, the way it is, I'm talking about the number of episodes that they released as this part of the season.
Right.
What I thought they were going to do was I thought they were going to pull a I can make this reference, but I don't know if it's going to make any sense. It might to the viewers, but where they use that, where she freezes time, and they go back and change events leading up to it. Almost like where they put in a time travel type of thing.
Kind of like the Omega 13 thing from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So time's frozen.
Yeah, and then it reverses back.
Yep.
But no, apparently that did not happen.
No. That's what I thought. She was like, I can only hold it for a few seconds. Well, that's a few seconds in this timeline. Orko does some kind of magic or whatever, takes them back, and that's how it becomes the Abrams-style time manipulation Star Trek alternate universe leading up to this one Nexus event.
Yeah. But apparently not. Apparently this is going to pick up this is going to be focused on how the people, the country attorney at large handles, the the disappearance of He-Man
and
Skeletor, death, and the apparent destruction of Skeletor.
Yeah.
So
I get the feeling there's going to be a sort of version of civil war between Snake Mountain and the citizens of Eternia, but inside that there's going to be a power struggle between Triclops, the werewolf guy, and Evelyn. I can never remember his name.
Okay.
It's not on this page. It would be on the other page.
I don't know if we saw a werewolf guy.
The one that you said I've seen the toys for him, but I don't know his name.
No, the
one that had the mace.
That's not the one I was talking about. I was talking about the guy who had the iron fist. The literal iron.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the one that was driving the tank with the catapult and He-Man caught it to save Man-at-Arms.
I recognized the catapult, the car itself as from the toys.
Okay.
Not the guy driving it. Or the person driving it, or the thing driving it. That's what I was referring to. I may have not made that clear, but...
I think... I want to say his name's like Man-Thing or Wolf-Thing or something like that. But I'm spacing because I'm going back since I was like a third of what I am now. I was like 9 or 10 when I watched He-Man, and it was like after school Toonami turning into like Boomerang type stuff. And then at the same time they were airing the 2003, 2004 version of He-Man with the new animation, which is completely different than this.
Yeah.
I do want to say this animation is legit.
Yeah.
They did a very good job.
Yes.
When I found out who was animating it, I was very excited. Now that I've seen it, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
And again, I never even watched Castlevania, but this makes me want to go back and watch
it. I didn't. I heard about it, but I was never much of a Castlevania, the game fan, and also I just really never. I didn't want to really watch it because Castlevania, that's great. The only, and this is going to be silly sounding, but the only real reference that I have for Castlevania per se is from Captain N and the Game Masters cartoon.
Okay.
From the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
And the Simon Belmont from there. Well, he's not like the Simon Belmont from apparently the games or anything like that. He's really Johnny Bravo-esque.
No, that's
yeah.
That is from the trailers I've seen. That is not the Castlevania that they have on Netflix, which I think it just had its last season. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's when it's done.
6 seasons, yeah. I think.
Oh goodness gracious! Wow, that is definitely a. You're not hooked. If this episode doesn't make you want to watch the rest of it, you're a lost cause.
Thank you, Netflix, for dropping it in binge form. We are so sorry we can't watch it that way.
Yeah, well, I'm choosing not to watch it that way. This is a personal decision by me.
Well, we kind of ruined the point of live reactions.
Yeah, well,
if
true.
I watch it.
But, I mean, you could pull a Roby and do it, whatever, you know.
Oh, then I just get to watch and be like, no, don't take notes. Watch.
Which I did, and I just,
that was insane. And then
Yeah.
Tila's just like, I'm out.
And telling everybody off.
Yeah.
I mean, not just, I mean, she was bold to basically say no to the king.
Yeah.
Because whenever he ordered her to escort, basically cast out her adopted father, the prior man-at-arms, and she's just like, no.
And that
and
makes
just like, wait, what? And then she immediately went into the whole tirade about you guys, you knew about him, and then she directed towards the mother. You knew, and you didn't even tell your husband this.
Yeah,
and that just basically stopped everybody in their tracks. And I mean, I'm hooked. I'm definitely. I'm going to be on at the time of this recording. I'm going to be going on vacation in a week, leaving on vacation on the second, and probably maybe the first, depending on scheduling. It's going to be very hard to just like having this stew in my head.
Yeah.
That entire time I'm going to be gone. It's
well, we might be able to watch episode 2 before that.
Maybe depends on really your schedule, because mine's pretty much set.
Mine's not. I have a great job. I love my job.
I mean, you still get off at the same time. But, well, you have mentioned that you can get off at the same time.
Yeah.
Can, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But obviously your job is a lot more dirty than mine. So,
indeed.
But, and yeah, I mean, that's up to you whether we can work our schedule. Because we if you didn't know, we have full-time jobs. This is not it. Much as I would love to.
It would be so much fun.
Yes. And eventually I will be my own blind wave. Not going to take him over. It'll be another one. Anyways. But, wow. I almost wish I would have waited till I came back from holiday. From vacation. Holiday? What in the world? The Doctor Who is getting to me. That's what it is. My British heritage is coming out. Which is a thing.
It is indeed.
Yeah, it is a thing. I am 1/16 English, British.
My ancestor goes all the way back to Vikings, so that's
only on one tree limb. The rest is a lot of a mystery. But anyways, I am. Wow. Wow, that's all I can say. I know the old show is not going to be up to this, but I may at some, watch some of the, because apparently they put the entire series on the YouTube channel. For anybody never had to watch. I may go just at least maybe getting some more names.
Yeah.
And with faces and whatnot. Watch a few of those episodes off screen. If I have the time, but though it is kind of nice going into blind without really any knowledge whatsoever into this. So and all right, well, there's a lot swirling around up in here, and I'm probably gonna have to rewatch the episode again just to try to make sense of it all again.
Just episode 1.
Yes, just episode 1. Yes.
Netflix. I am not still watching. I'm going to bed.
So yeah, wow. Any rate, I don't have anything else. I'm just a swirling mess of okay.
I'm just really happy that He-Man is back and in full force, and they found a way to tell the story without it being a redux of something from the 80s. So I'm very excited to see where it goes from here, and I'm very intrigued as to see what happens with Teela.
Yeah.
Because if Man-at-Arms is banished and she's essentially committed treason and walked out.
Well, she self-banished herself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they could also charge her with treason because she said no.
Yeah.
So who's the new Man-at-Arms going to be? Who's going to be the king's right-hand man?
Who's going to...
Is he going to have resentment towards the queen now that he may not have clicked it, but Teela sure let him know, hey, she knew and didn't tell you.
The mom,
before, he was just like, oh, no, Adam too?
No, Adam, no, he's... And then whenever it was revealed that they were one and the same, he's like, no, that's impossible. And then the denial turned to anger really quick.
The stages of grief. Let's go.
He went through 5 and then rotated back through them again.
Quick. And then Cringer had a really close connection with Adam regardless of the whole Battle Cat thing.
Right.
I think we're going to see there's going to be some conversations with Cringer that are very not eloquent, but emotion heavy. Because Cringer's been with him since day one.
I don't know. What if we even get that? It could easily, after this, they could do the trope of a time skip. 3 weeks later, month later, whatever the time frames is, and then it could just cut to Teela doing who knows what, probably being a mercenary of some sort. I mean, if she still wants to maintain her fighting skill level, I mean, that's the only thing that she can really do, unless she becomes a bounty hunter of some sort. Or, like I said, a mercenary, soldier for hire.
Sorry, you said that, and I immediately thought of what she could be doing. And I just realized I need this fan art in my life. And it's Teela as the blacksmith from Mandalorian. Because that's what she could do. Yeah, that's literally what she could do. She's a blacksmith.
Okay.
So we could see her and she'll be forging weapons and working as a blacksmith. She could forge the new sword of power.
Well, based on what her said was, she was done with that. I bet she wouldn't even come within 50 feet of anything magic related or anything like that. She's done with that.
I'm saying one of the swords she forges becomes the new sword of power, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like she's approached by the ghost of the sorceress.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, we need you to make a sword. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like she makes a sword and she gives it to some person, and that person is chosen to be the next protector.
Champion of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Grayskull is an illusion.
Well, yeah, Grayskull is an illusion, but it's still, The Hall of
Golly, that was a
Wisdom. Okay,
good
like,
episode.
man, yes. I think that's about it. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you do not miss another episode. As I said before, come the first 2 weeks of August, probably not going to be any uploads to the channel because I'm going to be on vacation. I primarily do all of the editing for most of the things. I do have one editor that, she's been very helpful, but I do all of the uploading and stuff like that to the channel. Until next time, bye bye and be blessed. Great googly moogly.
So much.
Goodness gracious.
I didn't think so much could happen that.
Just through, yeah. They're just like, okay, we're going to start this off with a bang. And yep, they did. And figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
Can
this sword absorb all the power? Theoretically, it could, but you have to be wielding it.
Yes, you have to be wielding it in this form. And he slipped up there, whenever he and he was like, what do you mean this form?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, oh, they're going to...
Jeez.
That's what they mean by revelation? Okay.
Oh, boy, apparently not.